This world that you live in today is in a state of suffering, great suffering, that most people will push this topic to the side. This is a long video, by the way. They'll push this topic to the side and refuse to acknowledge or even speak about the issues that's going. I mean, look what's going on in Kensington, Philadelphia. That's just one highlighted area among many other areas and things that's occurring. Just look what's going on in society, right? Look at the amount of turmoil on the internet with men and women in relationships, duking it out on TikTok, YouTube, heights of chaos. You understand what I'm saying? There are men frustrated, oh, I can't find a good woman. Women frustrated, oh, I can't find a good man. There, people are suffering. Strung out on drugs, overdose. You know what I'm saying? People losing their jobs, homes are being destroyed, high prices of everything, inflation, food prices skyrocketing. You understand what I'm saying? There's a great suffering that's sweeping this globe. When it's gonna end, I couldn't tell you. I would hope it end today or right now, but there's a universal suffering that's going on with people across the globe. And you could see it. You know, the people are telling you. I was watching a video. This lady was like, look, I'm just getting out of a store and my $200, this is what it bought. Okay, these people aren't just making these videos for like social media bullshit. It's really happening in real time. These are real instances that are occurring in society. Right? The need for realness and all this other shit, it can't be greater. Right? It could have been greater than now. My thing about this whole social dilemma, when is it gonna end? Alright? Because no one is safe. It's impacting every aspect, every region, every area in society. Okay, and when people make videos about these things, a lot of people think, oh yeah, they're just doing it for views, they need likes and all this other shit. You understand? And not realizing that, yo, this is really happening for real. Right? You got zombie drugs. What is this shit, man? Kensington Street, Philadelphia. People strung out like zombies, just lean over, crouch down to the side. I'm like, yo, what is this? It's not like all types of calluses all over their body, just rotten, like human beings just walking around, rotten human beings, rotting, just walking around. Okay, you tell me this shit is normal. That shit ain't normal. There's something going on in the world that a lot of people will turn a blind eye to, but I won't. You see what I'm saying? It will be talked about. I mean, look at this shit. You got a man running for president that's telling you about eating dogs and cats, and people are making fun of videos about it and taking it for a joke. What's funny in that? Look at the state of the world. Look at the state of the world. The most powerful office on earth, one of the most powerful offices on earth, a candidate is telling you about eating dogs and cats and all this other shit, and people think that's funny. You know what I'm saying? Look what's going on in society. Look at people's lives. Look at everything that's going on. Why is there so much turmoil as far as men and women are concerned? You're not thinking about that shit. You know what I'm saying? You think, oh yeah, let me just use this to make a meme. Right? This is the state and condition. There's a lot of suffering. This is the state and condition of the atmosphere you live in. Some people might say, oh, well, you always dwell on the negative. I always dwell on the facts, really. If you call it negative, that's you. You see what I'm saying? I like the facts. Okay, college kids are crying out, oh, I gotta pay all this money to park on campus. My degree ain't worth shit. I can't find a job. What is really happening in society? It never used to be this way. That's one thing I can tell you. You understand? And from I've been alive on this earth, this is the worst I've ever seen society. right this second. It's the worst condition that I've ever seen society in. Okay, the worst. The 2008 recession was like luxury to what's happening right now. And they try to tell you, oh, you're not in a recession. This should pass a recession, bro. It's a complete depression you're in. You understand what I'm saying? I saw a guy in his car. He lived in his car, and he's married and has a wife at home. Turmoil at home. You know what I'm saying? This is the society you got dealing with. Okay? People are like in this numb state of mind, this numb mode. They don't speak to each other. Right? This young man, look at this next bullshit. I get this young man in North Carolina, Anderson, North Carolina. Some rope, tree, man unalive. Right? McGee. Jovian McGee. Rope. All you hear is a rope, tied to self. That's what they say. You get what I'm saying? What young man in their right mind would leave all the way in Chicago and go to, a 21-year-old would leave Chicago and go to North Carolina to tie a rope around himself on a tree? 21 years old. A young man. You get what I'm saying? Now they're ruling out a lot of different possibilities, but what it's looking like, and people know that this young man is dead. How he died, there's a lot of speculations, but I do know there's a rope involved, a tree involved, and he's dead. You know what I'm saying? Look at this society, bro. Where in this is normal? Okay, where in this is normal? Like where in it? This shit ain't normal. They're trying to normalize it to make you think, okay, this is the norm. You could just ride with it, go with it, and be okay with it. You shouldn't be okay with this shit. You need to speak up about these bullshits. Understand what I'm saying? The price of food. Look at the price of food. Right? People can't afford food. The most basic necessity of life. And a lot of people will be like, hey, I ain't got to worry about it. I got money. I'm not talking to you. The people who do have money, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who are the majority of people. That's who I'm talking to. Like, look at this shit. They're laying off people. Jobs are laying off. Right? They're laying off people everywhere. Okay, they're cutting staff, this, that, what. How do you think these people are going to find a job between now and December when their kids need, like, things for Christmas? How are they going to find it? Because most places aren't iron. Like, a lot of jobs aren't iron. The way they're going to find a job between now and December. See what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. These are the things, the social issues that people are looking at. Why? Because some of them are okay. So they're thinking, okay, I'm fine, so I ain't got to worry about it. But that's until you wake up and can't find your car. Or your Cadillac converter. Somebody took that shit out because they're hungry. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way, like, people could tell me that they don't care about what's going on. It's not my problem. This, that, whatever. I don't care what country you live in. Okay, what geographical region of the world. This is a global crisis. Okay, now they're talking about another surge of corona. That's being talked about. You understand what I'm saying? So it's telling you that, look, there's suffering in every aspect of society today. Suffering. People are suffering. You get what I'm saying? Suffering, and it's heavy suffering. It's not like, okay, I can afford everything, but I can't afford just this one thing. It's like people can't afford most things, right? Property tax. I saw one lady talking about a property tax. It's so increased, she had to go down to the city hall, and this happened in Canada. Go down to the city hall and talk to some people about some shit, so she doesn't lose her home. You get what I'm saying? So what does that tell you? There's a housing crisis. You hear people in America complaining about housing. There's housing crisis in Canada too. Okay? Health issues. You know, look at all these people breaking down on the internet. Like, you know, crashing out on the internet. You understand? Anxiety, depression, all these things are being increased at an alarming rate. And it's going fast. When does it end? What are people doing? Like the leaders of the world, they're seeing these things. They see every video you post. They're going to see this video. You understand? What are they? All these things were created by mankind. Mankind created this environment. You understand? When are they going to fix this shit? You may not be feeling this. Well, I can't even say that because everyone has to feel this. Right? It's just tougher on some people than others. So when you sit there and be like, oh yeah, I'm okay, I got my house, I got money in the bank, I got a few cars, my boat is okay, this, that, whoop, the whoop. That's the few people. Some people talk about, yeah, middle class. There's no more middle class. I've never acknowledged middle class to begin with. I just think you're either rich or poor. That's my personal opinion. So a lot of people will disagree with that, and that's fine. Okay? But I think you're either rich or you're poor. Maybe you make 200,000, whatever. But to me, that's still poor. Understand? Rich are people who make millions of dollars annually. That's what I call rich or have some type of money. But a couple 100,000 or just 50,000 better than the next person next to you, to me, you're still poor. So like the middle class has completely, or what some folks thought were middle class, has completely disappeared. And it's due to a lot of things. Inflation, loss of employment, meaningful employment, and shit like that. A lot of these workplaces are cutting top staff, like they're cutting out managers. You understand? Any way they could use to save the company and get rid of people. That's what's happening today. Right? You're being replaced by AI, all this other shit. You have people working long hours just to make $1,500, $1,300 a week. Right? They're working 12 hours a day. Okay, what happened to the 40-hour work week? Right? That's all disappeared. So they say you got to work a lot of hours. That way your paycheck look like it's a lot, but you're really making nothing because you're spending like 90% of your time at work. You got to work 12 hours a day just to make $1, just to keep up with your bills. What's going to happen to your body eventually? And that's what you might want to think about. But these companies don't give a shit. I can tell you that right this second. They do not care. Okay, your body break down, you're tear down, you got ran down. They'll just replace you in a heartbeat. It's not even the thought. Okay, it's just the work, HR, whatever. That's it. So, suffering continues. And I think it was if the leaders of the world do not take inflation seriously and start making some drastic moves to change up shit, you're gonna find an increase in crime. It's already increasing. A lot of it is being suppressed. The videos are not getting pushed around. You're not seeing the real numbers of what's really happening in and around society. You understand? People are crazy these days. You see, you got gangsters in Jamaica go and kill 8 people one time. One shooting in Jamaica. Right, Cherry Tree Lane. That's a place in Clarendon, Jamaica. 8 people at once. I've never heard of that shit my entire time growing up in Jamaica. I've never seen or heard anything like that. But we're here today. You know what I'm saying? This is where we're at today. And it just show you the mind state of people in society today. Okay, how they think, the way they see things, what they're looking at. What could inspire you to cut down 8 innocent lives, kids involved? You know what I'm saying? And if the police caught them or they got captured or taken out by the police, but it still doesn't erode the fact that this is such a vicious and heinous crime? What's the inspiration? This is the mind state of people in society. You get what I'm saying? This is the mind state of some people in society, right? They'll just do anything and everything. For what? The shit is crazy, man. Be careful out there. That's all I can tell you, Be careful out there. Be careful what you're doing, right? Try your best today not to lose your employment. You understand? The holidays are coming up. You need stuff for your kids, wife, husband, family, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is. So keep your job. Stay in your job. Okay? Because these high-paying jobs are slowly diminishing. Why? It's simple. The employers today, they find out that people are desperate. They're seeing these videos that people are crying, oh, I can't find work. So what they do? They reduce the amount they usually pay because they know somebody's going to take it. That's what society's coming down to, which is a very sad thing. So a lot of these jobs, people aren't getting paid for what the job is really worth. They're getting paid based on, it's a supply and demand. The supply of employees they have and the demand for the jobs, right? So a job could be worth $35 an hour. They'll be like, you know what, let's push it down to like 23. Somebody's going to take it. And somebody will. If you look at trucking, same thing, which is another thing you don't want to get me started on. The trucking industry, how it's completely messed up. Something that used to be a great source of income. You understand what I'm saying? So you can really see life changes. Okay, it's terrible, man. Terrible. And you have to acknowledge these issues. Acknowledge them, speak about them, and make it known to the leaders of the world that these things need to change. They have to know these things. They got to change. You can't just be people waking up every day, zombified people just walking around, people with high stress, high anxiety, just walking around. You get what I'm saying? Like robots. They don't even speak. They don't even say, hey, how you doing? None of that. They're just like, this robot-like behavior. You understand what I'm saying? The shit gotta stop, man. They gotta do something about this. Is this the future you want your kids to be in? You want your entire life or the future of your kids and your grandkids to be in a shit like this? That's something you might want to think about. You get what I'm saying? And do something to initiate change. Don't just sit there and be like, oh yeah, there's nothing I can do. There's something you can do. Right? You can do something. Right? Start doing it today to help initiate this change. You got to do it. When you look at jobs today and the way college kids or freshly graduates are complaining about being unable to find a work. There's so many people that qualified, have a lot of degrees and all this other shit. They can't find work, right, to match their credentials. These are things you want to think about. Are you in college? What are you studying? What's the demand for what you're studying today? Will you be able to find a job in your field? All these people working at Burger King, a lot of these people with masters, PhDs, whatever, nothing against Burger King, because it's still a job, but they should be able to find work in their related field. You get what I'm saying? They should be able to find work in the related field and not have to go and work somewhere where they don't want to do. They're not even trained in that area. They're not educated. They just have to settle for something. Which brings up another topic, relationships. People are just settling for relationships these days with no real love, no meaning behind it. It's just like a survival mode that people are in, just to survive. You get what I'm saying? This is where we're at. Okay? And my question to you is this, and will forever be, what are you doing? What are you doing about it? That's my question. I saw a doctor on the internet, a newer surgeon. He quit his job walking around with a GoPro camera, right? Because he said his moral compass isn't allowing him to be a newer surgeon no more. because it's too, what do you call it? It's too capitalized, right? Instead of focusing on the health and care of the patients, it's more like the focus is on money. You get what I'm saying? So he quit being a doctor, a neurosurgeon. It takes a lot of training to do that. You got to be skillful, right? He quit his job, walking around with his dog, GoPro camera, whatever it is. I think it's an Asian guy, Chinese guy, or something like that. He's on YouTube, wherever, okay? I saw this guy. And I was like, man, this is some shit. Then I see another chick in New York. Oh, you know what? I'm on the same path. What's going on? Like, why are all these? They're not stupid. They are not dumb people. A lot of these people are moving out of society, off-grid living. That's what they're doing. They have had it with society. They're done. Young people, some 40s, 50s. They're not like 85 years old and be like, okay, I'm done working and this is it. These are young people that just out there, right? And they're really done with society. They're in an RV camper, whatever it is, with their dog, wife, right? And they're threw the towel in. And I'm pretty sure the leaders of the world are seeing these things. These are highly skillful people, extremely professional people that are doing these things. So I know for sure they're not dumb. It's telling me something, because the number of people that I see doing this shit, okay, and the level of education a lot of them have, it's telling me something. You understand what I'm saying? And you got to look at the nooks and crannies of society. That's one of the things you got to look at. Don't just be looking at what's in front of you. Think outside the box, they would say. That's something you might want to do. Start doing if you haven't started doing so. You get what I'm saying? And I'm going to talk more about this human suffering that's going on across the globe. All continents. They're suffering. People are suffering. You get what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people don't like to hear these videos, but I'm a realist. You get what I'm saying? I see things for what it is. I don't trick my mind into see things for what I want to believe it to be. Okay? And once again, it's Big Muscle. I'm always on the hustle. Catch me in the next video. Peace.